I think this pool is on purpose. One is also it's to add some extra liquidity to Hex. So right now we're in bear mode. It doesn't drop as much because there's more liquidity. Two, I think it's a secret plan psychologically in order to get a ton of people not to stake Hex right now during these points in time, and allow basically less people to have T-shares. So the T-shares can so few people have T-shares that it can finally force people to restake much later on. Because I mean, somebody recently, I forgot his, oh my gosh, if I had the picture of it, but basically T-shares are getting very, very expensive, and they will keep increasing forever. And that ratchet gets tighter and tighter. Right now, we still have cheap, like T-shirts are going up, but the price has gone down. But once the price stops going down and goes up, it starts getting. This is why, like right now, if you're gonna make stakes, make them now, because you can stomach it. You're like, you can make the stake, you can make the big stakes on PHEX, and dollar wise, you can just, you're like, all right, it's only $500, $1,000, I'll do it. Who cares? I mean, I'm just gonna think about it. I'm gonna do it. Versus when this thing goes to a couple pennies, it's back at 5 cents, 10 cents. That's a 20x. 10 cents is a 20x. You're like, am I going to stake this $20,000 for 5 years from now or 10 years? So you lose testicular fortitude because the numbers start going like, this is actually a lot of money. And the plan is because then you won't do it. And because you won't do it, by the time that this thing could maybe get cheap enough, the T-shirts could ratchet it up significantly, right? Because the next bear runs in 26, right? So if we're saying, I mean, I haven't done the math in a while, man, but like let's just say for PHEX, right? I think it's what, because someone tell me the T-shirt rate right now. What is it like? It's in the 30s or the high 30s. It might be low 40s actually. What's the T-shirt rate payout right now? My chat's so smart; they'll find it right now. That's what I literally like. Fuck AI. I got the chat. Because people are so like, fuck it, I won't stake liquid. I don't care about getting a permanent loss, because if I lose some PHEX, I gain pulse chain and I win anyway because I have the L1 token, and then I gain a bunch of ink token. Cool. And then people are yield farming that, and then so less people are staking their stuff out. The chat's taking a minute now. I'm gonna have to look this one up myself. God damn it. The chat has failed me. No. I'm up to Molly the lean. Kind of looking retarded. Thank you. Hello, Wealth. It's about 35. Yeah, it's about 35 hex per T-share, right? Cool. Yeah, it's about 35,000 hex per T-share right now. And if we look right now, right? It got created in December 2nd, 2019, right? And it's now 2024. So now we're having 4 and 5 year stakes come undone right now. That's cool. And in those 4 years, the T-shirt rate started at 10,000, and today it's gone up about 25,000 in 4 years. Is Hex still alive? Yeah, it is still alive. Still alive. Because a coin that's as wrecked as Hex has gotten wrecked, and PHEX and all this stuff. But if you look at it low for low, it's right on par with. I mean, there's like stuff like Cardano. There's really good coins that people like, and that are people that are in the ecosystem that are literally like 50% off its lows or 2x off its lows only, which is right in line with everything else, you know. And if we look right here, right, if it's done about 25,000 in 4 years, right, that means it will at least by 2026 will at least be about 50,000 hex per T-share. That's 5 times more expensive per T-share than it was when it first started. And what happens is during those times, like it's going down, so people might not stake. So what happens is as time goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, by 2029, we're talking about it could be 75,000, 80,000, even 100,000 per T-share. And then by the time people realize, holy fuck, and there's so much less, so more of the t-shirts get concentrated, but also some of the bigger whales, and because a lot of the whales right now are, whales and sharks and stuff are not restaking their hex. They're starting to get diluted because they're no longer creating t-shirts. And then if they want more t-shirts, they have to fucking shoot this hex out from either they make a big capital investment and stake it out to retain and increase t-shares right now, or they're going to get diluted. And that's what's happening. Most whales and sharks and shit are getting diluted. They're getting diluted, and they're going to be diluted. I mean, I saw someone post this. I'm not sure if I totally 100% believe it, but they were pretty much saying like that by 2035. Let me find this shit. It was really interesting. I want to give this guy some credit and stuff. I might be able to find. His name is Crispy Man. Shout out to Crispy Man. Hex Fire Ice IO. Basically, right. So okay. So what it is. So by 2039, in order to be a shark, you need 20 t-shares. So I'll post it on Twitter right now. It's very interesting. That is 2039. So this has got to survive till then. That's exact. I mean, that's fucking what 10. Yeah, it's like what? Yeah, 10, how much? 14. Yeah, 14 years from now. 14, 15 years from now. If you got 20 t-shirts, you're a shark. Obviously, that's not. I don't think that's going to be factually 100% correct. But regardless, even if it's 200. Because then some people are like, yeah, I'll throw some shit out. But then everyone's so pussy right now, they're scared to do anything. Like most people, this is if you're still doing this. Like even for me, I haven't staked anything I have stakes coming out right now, but I've only staked stuff out from the next cycle onwards and forwards. So I have basically staked out, where I've been staking recently out is from 27 onwards. Because, I've been able to buy a large liquid supply now. I've taken a portion of that, staked it out for what I'm comfortable with. And at no point am I telling you stake out all your hex. But if you are going to stake some out, I would, if you're going to stake anything out, there's no point in getting anything for right now. You're better off staking out in the future. So you're locking in T-shares and you have some fucking coins coming in. And then if T-shares really do become rare, then you're locking it in. And if it goes to zero, who gives a fuck? Because you have plenty of liquid here to take some profits anyway. So who cares? But it's kind of like, let me buy some schmuck insurance and put some out there. So if you're staking out from 27 onwards, making a ladder, even if it's a big stake, like throw 100, even 50,000 hex and stuff. Even if you don't got a lot of cash, even 50,000 hex once a year until like 2039, you got something coming in, and then as less and less t-shirts are owned by people, the t-shirt payout will keep going higher and higher and higher. Yeah, hex fire. Yeah, the more t-shirts will be added, the more people have to wait. Yeah, it's because OG. You can look at it. There's less people. Almost no one's staking has almost stopped because people are yield farming right now. And I think that's the master plan. I think what Richard is secretly doing right now is people are staking, but they're doing rolling stakes. They're doing like 1 year stakes, monthlies, or dailies. That's all they're doing. Mostly weeklies and monthlies, right? That's most of the staking. And you have legacy ones from guys like me and stuff who were in the beginning and stuff like that. But even guys like me and stuff, they're saying they're doing that, but they're just holding liquid or they're just yield farming and they're not staking at all. So a lot of people are unstaking their stuff, and the original plan is you take your principal, you stake it out a super long length, and you take all the extra interest and just keep it. But most people aren't doing that. They're just keeping it all and not staking it, or just selling it off to get into shit coins or building up a pulse chain position and stuff. This cycle, what's going to happen is I truly believe that, E-hex, P-hex, whatever ends up happening, doesn't matter. Like, it's the same thing for both of them. There's even less staking happening on E-hex. There's almost no staking happening on E-hex outside of a couple whales. The T-share rate's going to start catching up enough. And then on top of that, when pulse chain does pump up, it's liquid bonded and stuff like that. You're going to have this thing go up in price. And what's going to happen is people who have, like, if you buy a million hex shares today, and let's just goes to 5 cents, right? It's now 50,000. When P hex goes to 5 cents, it's $50,000. It's $50,000 per million coins at 5 cents. And then you're like, 50, and then you start going, like, you might stick $1,000 at the time, But this is why, like, you have to do your stakes during when it's cheap, because you actually will like have the balls to actually make the stake. And this is also why guys that stake near the tops get fucked so bad, because like they are staking a large amount of money, like 20 grand. Yeah, I'm staking 20 grand. But when the price is really high, I mean, that is like that is literally like, that is, I mean, you can just divide it by 40 and that's what they're actually staking. And you're like, damn, that's not that much actually. You know? Yeah, T-shares and P-Hex are like $71, right? But it goes to 5 cents, times it by 10, that's $1,700. And 5 cents is not crazy, because like before the split happened and stuff like that, we pumped to like 12 cents and then crashed back down. Like that, and like like we'll get out of this bear run at some point. Because then too, if you look at most other ecosystems from like even AVAX and everything else, you like that, they haven't really pumped that much. This is normal. We're like, we need Ethereum. We like, just like NFTs have not even come back. NFTs won't even be back until Ethereum is soundly above $6,800. Will even NFTs even have a pulse? No pun intended. And it's not really going to be until Ethereum's like 7,000 to 8,000 that the NFTs will semi come back. Sorry if this stuff's going above people's heads a little bit, but I find it pretty interesting. And this is just playing the long game. And this is not even playing. It's just like, I just buy. You get a couple stakes here and there. Boom, make sure you have some stuff coming out every year. You grow because you're growing just by having any T-shares at all. You're growing T-shares, and still, and then you don't have. But the thing is, this is a beautiful thing. You don't have to do any of that. Just if it's a little too complex for you, stick to the basics. Buy some Ethereum, buy some Solana. But if you're in the Pulse chain ecosystem, throw a couple stakes out there. It's cheap. They're always going to be cheap to unstake anyway. And you're fine, and who cares? And then here's the thing too, and any of the naysayers, some of you faggots out there, right? You got to risk it for the biscuit. You're not doing anything better. What are you doing? You're buying to whiff. Dog with a hat. Motherfucker, shut the fuck up. Like, you have no right to. Any naysayer has got no right to say. You're investing in just as stupid shit. What's the fundamentals? Who's the founder? Like anonymous founder? A bunch of the people who started with have most of the fucking supply. No. Well, Solana, like, look, I'm in Solana too. I'm making a shit ton of, and I promise you, I have more money in Solana than you. Promise you, I fucking promise you, I've got more money in Solana than you. And I'm telling you that a lot of the people who rugged you guys for all the FTX stuff still have massive bags. There's VCs, the VCs from like there's VCs from Silicon Valley that own a shit ton of supply anyway, and so they're, of course, they're hyping this up so they can take exit liquidity, but that's not talked about because that's okay, isn't it? But that's what I'm telling you. Like, there's always whales and there's always collusion and there's always a cabal of people who will control a shit ton of this fucking supply. It's the fucking truth. Enemy or not, friendly or not, it's the truth. So you just got to live with it. We're in like. Look, I'm a fucking FA specialist. Fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis has gone fucked up the ass this cycle. Completely. Look at this. I'll say some sad shit. Look, and I told this to Coffee. And I've told this to Charlie. I've made more money on Pepe than I made on the entire Pulse chain ecosystem. Put it all together. And I'm for my bags. Okay, now I'm speaking for other people. And I have a lot of Pulse chain ecosystem. And that's fine. And does that make me, I'm bearish? No, it's just being smart and not being a fucking idiot. You gotta be like, you can have emotions. Like I have my darlings. Like, I like this ecosystem. I have tons of friends in this stuff. I do have an emotional attachment. But it's never stopped me from making money from it. And some people, and then people could use this as a way to attack me or whatever. Like, oh my God, Miguel, like, who cares? Look, I make money on this stuff, roll a little bit of my profits. I take some of my Sol profits, some of my fucking Pepe profits, roll it into Pulse Chain, roll it into Cardano, roll it into some other stuff. And then later on, you're like, Miguel, how'd you get, like, why are you doing that stupid shit a year from now? Bro, I'm going to start aping into Cardano. I was like, stupid fuck. Why are you buying a Cardano a year from now? A year and a half from now, you fucking idiot. You're buying Cardano $8. Retard. Ben, idiot. And then you're gonna be telling all your followers, it's like, no, it's time to buy. Dude, Cardano crashed from $12 to $8. I think this is now the time to DCA.